In the coaching world, one of the big buzz terms is life balance or achieving life balance. And here's one of the things that most coaches, if they're honest, will tell you. Most people can never achieve life balance. It's almost an unrealistic expectation. And there's been multiple millions of dollars spent promoting living a balanced life, when in actual fact, there is so much evidence that a balanced life is not even something people realistically can live in the day in which we live because of the rapid, accelerated pace of change. But here's what can be corrected: imbalances to your soul. Your inner life can come into a place of balance, even though on the outside you may have to be juggling 4 or 5 things at a time. There is a way to stay focused, to stay in a place of peace, in a place of rest, and to stay in a place of recognizing what it will be that will buffer you against imbalance in your soul. And part of that is by learning how to build your strengths and learning how to focus on the deep core virtues that have been timeless all through history, that lead to creating a space in your life for wisdom to enter your soul. Because the principal thing is wisdom. And a balanced soul is a soul that is infused with practical, timeless wisdom. So here's what I want you to think about, and here's what I want you to focus on. What is it that builds positive character in your life? What is it that builds positive character? Here's what I can tell you doesn't build positive character: being hypercritical, being hyper-judgmental, being hyper-anxious, and being hyper-negative. None of that, hyper-negativity, hypercriticality, hyper-negativity, all of those things, any of those things have a tendency to bring imbalance to the soul. And here's why. Because when you're focusing on what's wrong, you shut down your ability to see what is healthy, what's wholesome, what's possible. And there's enough out there that you can focus on that can bring imbalance to your soul, that you can easily turn it against yourself and go inside and not want to come out. But the fact is, there are things that will build positive character in your life and will create a space for wisdom. One of the most important resources internally that you need to develop and nurture and grow and honor is hope. And I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm talking about genuine hope that is able to stay focused on the possibility of what wants to happen and enables you to keep reaching for it in spite of the challenges that come against it. Sometimes you have to walk in hope against hope. However, if you will nurture hope, you will build perseverance, and with perseverance, you will build your character. And here's the thing about hope. Hope doesn't disappoint. And when you understand that, it will bring a level of balance to your outlook that even when things begin to challenge your sense of well-being, even when things begin to come against you that make you feel like everything is getting ready to get real rocky or really unstable, hope will keep you stabilized. Hope will keep you in a frame of reference that causes you to keep looking to what will and wants to happen instead of what's going on in the moment that threatens that from happening. Hope always wins. Hope always perseveres. And hope always proves itself in the long run. We're not talking about wishful thinking. We're talking about genuine hope. And the fact is, there is a God of all hope who wants to fill us with all joy and peace in believing. And so cultivating hope is an important dynamic that will enlarge your capacity to maintain a balanced soul. One of the other things that will help you maintain balance in your soul is courage. Oftentimes, we tend to not realize how important courage is. And here's the thing about courage, and why is it so important? It's important because there's a number of things that will make you fearful on any given day. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the willingness to embrace your fears and keep moving forward in confidence anyway. So when there is courage, you are resourceful. When there's courage, you are resourceful. When you let go of courage, you are defenseless. So you want to move from being defenseless to being resourceful. And love always triumphs over fear. And that's why when you're facing situations that threaten to bring imbalance to your soul based on fear, you need to remember that courage is rooted in the fact that love will always drive away the fear. But you have to be willing to face the fear and move forward anyway. And you'll find that when you do that, your soul finds its niche. Your soul finds its track. Your soul finds its lane to run in. And you don't lose your balance. And you keep moving forward. And you find that you stay in step, and you stay in sync, and you stay in rhythm, and you stay in flow. And then the other thing that I want to encourage you in that is an essential resource to keep your soul balanced when you're threatened by anything unstable that wants to bring imbalance to your emotional life is optimism. And optimism isn't something you and I are born with. It's something you and I have to learn. We have to cultivate an attitude that things can and will change, and that things will get better, and that whatever's coming against me, it's not because all of the world is against me or God's against me. It's just the fact that we live in a world where random things happen, unpredictable things happen, not nice things happen, evil things happen, but I can still be the person who decides that as for me, I will choose hope, I will choose courage, and because of love, I will remain optimistic, and I will learn how to look at life. Not that life will always be the way I want it to be. However, I will learn to look at life through the lens of everything is going to be all right. Now, you do have an option. You can say everything's not, but I promise there are fruits that are born from everything's not going to be all right. And I'm inviting you to keep your soul in balance. And I would rather that you and I live in a world where we are choosing to believe that everything will be all right, because the benefits for us and those that are with us will be far greater than if we start believing everything's going to work out wrong. That's not faith. That's not hope. That's not love. And so I encourage you to keep a balanced soul. Keep your place in hope. Keep your place in courage. Keep your place in optimism.